Ever tried squeezing into one of those tiny cockpits to learn the ropes of a massive Airbus A320?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just about memorizing which lever does what, right?
Right.
It's about mastering this whole intricate web of systems.
It's a whole different world.
It really is, and that's where a seriously good flight simulator can really, I mean, it's like a game changer, right?
Yeah.
And you've brought us a fascinating one to kind of dissect today.
Yeah, and it's not every day we get to look behind the curtain of a simulator that was designed by pilots for pilots.
Right.
And the way this one's evolved from just this passion project into this cutting-edge platform.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really interesting story.
Okay, so picture this. It's the late 90s.
Okay.
And we've got this group of Airbus pilots. Some are still flying, some are enjoying their well-deserved retirement, but they come together with this shared dream.
Oh.
They want to create a simulator so real you can practically smell the jet fuel.
Wow.
Like you're right there in the captain's seat of an A320.
Ambitious.
And what strikes me is their commitment to this. We're talking over a decade, more than 10 years they poured into this project.
Yeah.
Before they even launched their company, Airline Tools GmbH, in 2008.
It takes a certain type of person to have that kind of dedication.
It really does. Clearly, they weren't satisfied with what was already out there. So what were they aiming for that was so different?
Realism.
Okay.
And they were serious about it. It wasn't just about making it look pretty. They wanted to go deeper.
Okay.
Recreate the A320's inner workings with absolute accuracy.
So we're talking fully functional systems.
Oh, yeah.
A detailed 3D environment. They even integrated databases like Lufthansa's Lido.
Yes. For the Flight Management Guidance System, the FMGS.
Now, I know the FMGS is basically the brain of the A320.
Yes.
But for our listeners who are new to this world, can you break down why simulating that accurately is so crucial?
Sure. So the FMGS is what pilots use to plan their flight plan.
Okay.
They use it to manage fuel, navigate, handle any system failures.
Wow.
It's a very important piece of technology, and simulating it realistically allows pilots to practice procedures
Right.
and make decisions in a safe environment before facing those situations in the real world.
So Airline Tools pours all this expertise into their simulator, and finally, 2014, they unveil it to the world. Airbus Flight Deck A320, and the response they get, I mean, the pilot community just eats it up. Pilots rave about how much attention to detail there is, like every switch, every knob functioning exactly like the real deal.
It's one thing to memorize procedures from a book,
Right.
but to actually experience how those procedures affect the aircraft in a realistic simulation.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
And that's where I think their focus on realism really paid off, because pilots weren't just impressed by the look and feel, but they were reporting that they gained a deeper understanding of how the A320 systems all work together.
Absolutely.
It's like they took their real-world experience and combined it with this cutting-edge technology.
Yeah.
But then, like we often see with these innovators, they don't just stop there. They didn't just rest on their laurels.
Right. They wanted to keep pushing the boundaries.
So even though their simulator was a hit, they saw there was room to grow. What were some of the limitations they were facing?
Well, their original simulator, it was limited to Windows PCs.
Okay.
And this was before, everyone had tablets and smartphones and all that.
Right, right.
So pilots, they wanted something that could fit into their busy schedules.
Makes sense. You can't exactly lug a desktop computer around to get your simulator hours in.
Exactly. They wanted to be able to train on the go.
So what were some of the other things they were hearing from pilots?
Pilots wanted the same kind of easy access, like you'd have streaming a movie on your phone. They wanted something with amazing graphics that they wouldn't have to install special software for.
So Airline Tools takes on this massive challenge, reinventing their simulator.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what went into this.
This wasn't just a quick update. This was a complete overhaul.
Wow.
They spent 3 years rewriting over 1 million lines of code.
3 years.
3 years.
Wow. That's dedication.
It was a huge undertaking.
What was the ultimate goal with this new version?
They wanted to bring the entire simulator online.
Okay.
So any pilot could access a high-fidelity A320 simulator anywhere in the world.
From anywhere?
All through their web browser.
That's pretty incredible. No more downloads, no compatibility issues.
Exactly. Just pure access to advanced flight training.
That's a game changer, especially for pilots in training.
Absolutely.
Or those looking to brush up on their skills.
It really opens up opportunities.
But I imagine shifting such complex software online must have come with its own challenges.
Oh, for sure. It's one thing to create a realistic simulator. It's another to make it run smoothly on a web browser.
Right.
Especially with those complex visuals and everything.
Yeah.
And they had to make sure it worked on different devices, too.
So they pulled it off.
Right.
Because A320online.com sounds incredible from what you've shown me.
They really did.
Yeah.
The online platform has that same detail and realism as the original, but with the convenience of web-based access.
So you're saying it's like having this top-tier A320 simulator in your pocket?
Pretty much.
Ready whenever you are. Have they gotten good feedback since launching it?
It's been really positive. Seasoned captains and new pilots both like how accessible it is and how in-depth the training is.
Yeah.
And the subscription model is flexible. It starts at $5 a day.
$5 a day?
Yeah.
That's less than a coffee for some serious flight training.
Exactly.
And it really opens up who can do this kind of training, too.
Absolutely. Someone who's just curious about aviation can try it out.
Wow.
Or someone thinking about becoming a pilot. They don't have to invest a ton of money up front.
So let's talk about some specifics of A320online.com. You said it's as realistic as the original. What stands out?
Well, it has worldwide scenery. You're not stuck with just a few airports.
Okay.
And it has realistic malfunctions, too. They're based on those ATA chapters you mentioned.
You're right.
So pilots can practice handling emergencies safely.
And for our listeners who don't know, ATA chapters, those are basically codes for every system on an aircraft.
Yeah, like a big library of aircraft systems.
So using ATA chapters means incredibly specific scenarios, like real life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it supports joysticks and throttles, too, so you can customize it.
Wow. So it sounds like they thought of everything to make it immersive and really comprehensive.
They did a great job with this.
But what's the most important thing we can take away from what Airline Tools did?
I think it shows how technology can really open up knowledge, make tough skills easier to get.
Right.
This online, go-at-your-own-pace learning could change a lot of fields, not just aviation.
It's true. If we can simulate flying a jet from our laptops, imagine what else we could do.
Right.
Surgeons, engineers. It's really incredible to see how the virtual and real worlds are coming together.
It is. And it makes you wonder about the future of all this.
Yeah.
What will simulators be like in 10 years, 20 years?
Exactly. What other innovations will we see?
This has been a really interesting look at flight simulation. And it makes you think about the future of learning. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
They really are. Thanks for taking us on this deep dive today. It's been fascinating.